Hi, this is my discussion post for 2.1 for Foundations of Doctoral Studies. Try to make this quick. So my topic, or at least where I think I want to go for my dissertation, is examining admission criteria for associate degree nursing programs, because I teach in the nursing program at Delaware Tech, and I've noticed a trend, within the last couple of years, maybe in the last 5 years, that we're getting a lot of students that don't have very good critical thinking skills and maybe aren't the best candidates for nursing school, and they really struggle to get through the program, and then when they do get through, maybe they're not able to pass that licensure exam, the NCLEX, which they have to take in order to become registered nurses. So for me, it really creates an ethical dilemma, and I want to look more into how are we deciding who gets to go to nursing school. So I want to try to look for some articles on this, and I will save you all a lot of time if you're watching this. First, I started out looking through ERICS and CNOL, and then I started looking through, things that we offer through Delaware Tech to look for research articles, and I kept running into the same problem where they were wanting me to pay to look at the article. Some of these articles are like $40, so I'm not paying $40 for an article. And then I finally remembered after about a couple hours of looking for articles that I had signed up for the library at Del State. It was one of the things that they quickly mentioned during orientation, that when we first were being oriented to the college. So I went and looked at that, and boom, everything was available. It was wonderful. So I wish I had started with that, and that will be my hack for everybody else. And I tried to take screenshots here, so you can get through to this through Blackboard. If you just try to highlight it, DSU library, and then you can get to this screen, which you would search for your article down here where it says journals. So save yourself some time and sign up for the library. The nice thing about this too is that if they don't have the article, they can request for us to lend the article. So you still might not have to pay for it. So you might find a great article that they don't have access to. They can ask for a lending of that article. Save me so much time. So do that. That's my biggest research hack from doing all of this. So the article I finally decided on was called Admission Criteria for Undergraduate Nursing Programs. So this was nice because it was a literature review of a lot of different studies that had been done on admission criteria for nursing programs. So they found a lot of really good things. They found that GPAs in themselves are weak predictors of NCLEX success. And to me, that's really the measurement that I'm looking at is NCLEX success. I'm not looking for, success in the program necessarily, because if they can get through the program but can't pass the NCLEX, then what are we doing? It's not right to the student. So GPA was a weak predictor. They also found that using prerequisites as admission criteria is not a good predictor of NCLEX success. Other than pathophysiology. Students who did well in pathophysiology also did well in the NCLEX. So for me, this was very eye-opening because our program uses anatomy and physiology, one, as a way to rank students that are applying to our program. So if that's not a good predictor of NCLEX success, then why are we using A&P1? That's the question I had. This article looked at admission tests for nursing programs like the TEAS test. We use the TEAS test at Delaware Tech. It's kind of like SATs, but it's more geared for nursing. And that also found that while it's a good predictor of early success in a nursing program, it's not a great predictor for NCLEX success. So again, that made me question, why is this is really our main admission criteria at Delaware Tech. Why are we using that if it's not a good predictor of if they're going to be successful in the NCLEX one day? Like I said, that's nice if they get through the program, but what good is it to get through the program if you can't pass the big test? The last thing they really looked at was interviews. Some programs do interviews to decide who their candidates are going to be, and this didn't really have a reflection at all on the NCLEX, good or bad, but it did bring diversity into the program, which I guess is good. But again, my measurement for success is if they can pass the NCLEX. That's the ultimate goal. So current research, I found this amazing article that was just published in 2025 on, it was also a lit review of admission criteria for undergraduate programs. The biggest takeaway from this article was they did find a correlation between T-scores, but it was T-scores that are greater than 82. That what gave a 9% greater chance of passing the NCLEX. So for me, what I thought of that was, that's nice, but we live in Sussex County down here, and we're not getting students that are getting 82s on the T's. Our lowest score for admission is a 58.7. So we're happy with 60s. And so if students are getting 60s, again, that's not a good predictor of success on the NCLEX. If we were to get an 82, that would be amazing. It's less competitive down here in rural Sussex County than it probably is up north, so we're not getting those type of students. They also found that GPAs of greater than 3.8 have an 11% greater chance of passing the NCLEX. Again, that sounds really nice, but we're not getting those type of students that are getting 3.8 GPAs in a community college in Sussex County, so I don't know that that would be a good way for us to filter students, because we're just not getting those type of students. So this was really eye-opening for me. Once I found these articles, it kind of helped me think about where I might want to take my dissertation topic. Hopefully you were able to get something out of this too. Biggest takeaway is sign up for the library. That'll save you so much time. I wish I had thought about it before I did. So I'll see you all in class. Bye.